Hi there, this is Mr. Jones, and I'd like to help you with multiplying with scientific notation. Now remember the basics of multiplying numbers with exponents. First of all, the base has to be the same. So in other words, x to the a times x to the b. Notice that the base is the same in both, and the base is the same in my product. And the exponents then, x to the a times x to the b, simply get added, and that gives me x to the a plus b, and that's true whether the exponents are positive or negative or even 0. Okay, let me give you a simple example. Suppose you had 10 to the second times 10 to the fourth. Well, you could write it out. Notice 10 to the second is 10 times 10. 10 to the fourth is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So that means that you have 6 factors of 10 being multiplied together, and that's going to be 10 to the sixth. Well, notice from the original problem you can arrive at that quickly and easily without having to write it all out by simply adding 2 plus 4, the exponents, and getting 10 to the sixth. Okay? Well, let's do a couple of examples of multiplying numbers that are in scientific notation. Notice that what I need to do, well, whether you notice it or not, I need to do it, is I'm going to take the numbers in scientific notation and I'm going to rearrange them using the commutative property. In other words, these four things, 3, 10 to the 7th, 5, 10 to the 4th, are all being multiplied together. And the order that I multiply them doesn't matter, so I'm going to put them in the order that will make it possible for me to multiply them. Okay? So the terms with exponents, those can be placed adjacent because those will be able to be multiplied using the rule that we saw above. And the constant values, or the coefficients, 3 and 5, can be placed together because those can be multiplied. Okay, so I'm going to use the associative property of multiplication. I'm going to associate the 3 and the 5, and I'm going to associate the 10 to the 7th and the 10 to the 4th. Well, 3 times 5 is 15. 10 to the 7th times 10 to the 4th is 10 to the 11th. 7 plus 4 is 11, so 15 times 10 to the 11th. Okay, now notice something about that answer. Even though in some applications you may want to leave it in that form, this is not in scientific notation. And in general, I want my answers to be placed into scientific notation form. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 15 and write that number in scientific notation. Okay, the decimal point is right here, so I'm going to move it one place to the left. That's going to be 1.5, so times 10 to the first. That's just the number 15. And that's being multiplied by 10 to the 11th. All right, well, 10 to the first times 10 to the 11th, you can add the exponents. 1 plus 11 is 12, so that's going to give me 1.5 times 10 to the 12th. Okay, so I think that should be enough of an explanation to give you the help that you need on problems 2 and 3. So why don't I take a break, let you practice your scientific notation multiplication skills, and when you're ready to check your results with mine, hit continue, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's see how you did with the first one. Squeeze that up just a little bit. Okay, well, notice that 12 is not written in scientific notation. Okay, so all I'm really doing initially is writing 12 times 6 times 10 to the 9th. It's the same order, but I'm just going to associate them differently. So that's going to be using the associative property. 12 times 6 is 72, then times 10 to the 9th. Okay, so I'm going to have 72 times 10 to the 9th, but 72 can be rewritten in scientific notation as 7.2 times 10 to the first. I'm going to move the decimal point one place to the left, so 7.2 times 10 to the first times 10 to the 9th. Right, then I can associate the powers of 10, and 10 to the first times 10 to the 9th is 10 to the 10th. 9 plus 1 is 10. So in scientific notation, let's highlight that in green. My answer would be 7.2 times 10 to the 10th. Okay? One more. Let's hope that's not a very good capture, is it? Let's try that again. There we go. Took a few tries. but we got it. Okay, so there's my result. Notice once again I have used the commutative property. 4 times 7, 10 to the 10th times 10 to the 9th. 4 times 7, and then I've used the associative property to associate 4 and 7. And 10 to the 10th and 10 to the 9th. 4 times 7 is 28. 10 to the 10th times 10 to the 9th, 10 to the 19th. Then, of course, I need to take 28 and write in its scientific notation. That would be 2.8 times 10 to the 1st times 10 to the 19th, and then I can simplify 10 to the 1st times 10 to the 19th as 10 to the 20th. So my result would be 2.8 times 10 to the 20th. Okay? So compare your results to mine. If you got the same results that I did, then both of us are doing well. And I urge you to work carefully and work well.